In this video, I'm reviewing 7 overlooked retirement expenses when planning. Hey everybody, it's Matthew Jackson here from 401k Maneuver, where we provide online professional account management with the goal of supercharging your 401k account performance. So stop leaving money on the table each and every year in the form of lost returns. Let us help you. If you're new here, be sure to hit the subscribe button, and the links to everything that we mentioned in this video you can find in the description box below. So let's jump right in. You know, when thinking about retirement, most people's minds drift to a retirement dream life involving no work, vacations, and finally getting to enjoy their favorite hobbies. However, several overlooked retirement expenses may prevent you from doing any of this during retirement. The disconnect between what people believe they need to attain their retirement lifestyle and what they can actually afford is often the result of overlooked retirement expenses during planning, such as supplemental Medigap coverage and the new state taxes. For example, an HSA Bank survey found 2/3 or 67% of consumers believe that they will need less than $100,000 for healthcare expenses during retirement. And Fidelity reports the average couple will need $295,000 in today's dollars for medical expenses in retirement, including long-term care. Discrepancies like this are representative of overlooked retirement expenses that catch people off guard. Good people just like you. So don't make the same mistake. Consider the following 7 overlooked retirement expenses as you plan your financial future. Number 1, healthcare expenses. There is a big discrepancy between how much money people think they will need for healthcare and how much they'll actually need. Unfortunately, many people mistakenly believe their health care will be covered by Medicare, when in reality, they will need a good deal more to cover supplemental coverage and out-of-pocket expenses. According to Fidelity, an average retired couple at age 65 in 2020 may need approximately $295,000 saved after taxes to cover healthcare expenses in retirement. Stephen Feinschreiber, Senior Vice President of the Financial Solutions Group at Fidelity, explains, healthcare is creating a retirement cost gap for many pre-retirees. Now keep in mind, the $295,000 figure does not factor in long-term care or inflation. Ultimately, your individual health expenses will vary depending on, number 1, how healthy you are, number 2, when and where you retire, number 3, how long you live, number 4, your taxes in retirement, and number 5, how you pay for medical expenses. Even if you enter your retirement years healthy as a horse, you don't know for sure what the future holds, and that's why it's better to be over-prepared for healthcare and retirement rather than struggling just to afford medications and treatment. Number 2, Medicare. Medicare is one of the most overlooked retirement expenses since many assume it's all they'll need for health insurance. And this isn't the case. For example, if you retire early, you will need another form of health insurance since Medicare doesn't kick in until 65 years of age. Plus, Medicare isn't free like some people believe. You have to pay a monthly premium based on your income. The most basic Medicare plan does not cover certain out-of-pocket costs, such as deductibles, co-payments, and supplemental insurance. And these things add up, and quick. There's 4 different parts of Medicare, Part A, B, C, and D, that you can opt to enroll in. However, each covers different things. For example, unless you opt for Medicare Part D, medications will not be included. Additionally, Medicare doesn't cover other overlooked retirement expenses, including dental, vision, and hearing aids. Some retirees can buy a supplemental Medicare health insurance policy known as Medigap to cover some of these other expenses. But again, this costs and is another overlooked retirement expense, so consider these costs when you're doing your planning. Number 3, long-term health care. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services estimates someone turning age 65 today has almost a 70% chance of needing some type of long-term care services and support in their remaining years. And long-term care isn't cheap. Genworth, a long-term care insurer, recently published the Cost of Care Survey conducted by CareScout. According to their report, from 2004 to 2020, the cost for facility and in-home care services has risen on average from 1.88% to 3.8% per year. That's an increase of $797 annually for home health care and up to $2,500 annually for private room in a nursing care facility. Look at these figures from the report for a better understanding of why long-term care is one of the most commonly overlooked expenses. Here we go. A private room in a nursing home in 2020 averages $105,850 annually. An assisted living facility in 2020 averages $51,600 annually. A home health care aide in 2020 averages $54,912 annually. And according to a recent survey by Money Rates, many may be underestimating their retirement living expenses by failing to properly account for inflation and the cost of elder care facilities. 71% of those within 20 years of retirement have not researched costs of nursing home or assisted living facilities. If you haven't purchased a long-term care insurance policy or plan for long-term care, you may end up footing the bill, and you don't want to do that. Number 4, taxes. Many retirees plan to retire in a new state, such as retiring somewhere warmer or closer to the grandkids. When planning, make sure you account for changes in tax should you plan on moving. Most states tax some portion of retirement income, and some states tax a good bit. For example, should you choose to retire in a state like New York or California with high income taxes, you will need to prepare to save a lot more for retirement. Currently, 12 states in the U.S. do not require retirees to pay tax on any 401k, IRA, or pension income. If you plan to move during your retirement years, these are the states where you won't pay taxes on your retirement income. Are you ready? Alaska, Florida, Illinois, Mississippi, Nevada, New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Washington, and Wyoming. Don't forget that you may owe federal taxes on your Social Security benefits depending on your combined income. The Senior Citizens League reports half of retirees report paying tax on Social Security benefits for 2019. Hey, if you're still watching, please hit the like button and make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit the little bell to the right to receive notifications of our next posted content. 5th, transportation. While you may not have to communicate during your retirement years, you will still likely have to have a vehicle. Even if you've paid off your car, you will still have to pay for its upkeep and car insurance. And as a result, transportation costs are another overlooked retirement expense. In a recent report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, annual transportation costs in 2019 was $10,742, with $4,394 for vehicle purchases and $2,000 for gasoline and other fuels and motor oil. When planning for retirement, you may want to consider becoming a single-car family or moving to a location that's pedestrian friendly. Number 6, household expenses and upgrades. One of the overlooked retirement expenses that surprises retirees is household costs. While your housing payments may drop during retirement, you still have to find a way to cover the cost of maintenance and upgrades. Household expenses you can easily afford while you're working, such as air conditioning repair, may be much more difficult on your retirement budget. Additionally, you may become physically unable to do repairs or yard work yourself, and you may need to pay someone else to complete these jobs for you. Another consideration is upgrading your home to meet your aging condition. A 2018 AARP survey found 3 of 4 adults aged 50 and older want to stay in their homes and communities as they age. Go figure, who doesn't want to? This practice, known as aging in place, requires homes to be renovated to meet the needs of senior citizens, such as adding ramps or making bathrooms safer. This is why it's important also to consider household expenses during retirement planning. Number 7, adult children and grandchildren. As much as you want to help out your adult children and grandchildren, you may be hurting your financial future by doing so and putting your retirement savings in jeopardy. If you have not carefully considered how much money you need for retirement and how much money you can afford to spend on your family, you may be shocked by this overlooked retirement expense. According to Merrill Lynch, 79% of parents with adult children provide some financial support for their living expenses, both large and small, from weddings to phone bills. Specifically, parents of adult children contribute a total of $500 billion annually, or twice what they put into their own retirement accounts. Here are some of the expenses retirees are helping their adult children with. Groceries and food, $54 billion annually. Cell phone services, $18 billion annually. Housing, cars, vacations. Rather than allowing your adult children to drain your retirement account in the future, have the hard talk with them about what you can and cannot afford. The type of advice you receive about your finances may be impacted by the type of advisor you resource for advice. So check out our no-cost guide on how to understand the different types of licenses financial advisors have and what they mean to you. Make sure you check out our next blog where we're talking about RMD changes in 2021.